the accidents, the species. The senses are seeing correctly what's there. But the senses have to be informed by a judgment shaped by faith. Now, I'll get to some of this at the very end of my talk. I'll try to explain how we can make sense of this. But the point is, the senses aren't deceived. Sometimes in my internet ministry, when this issue comes up, skeptics of the Catholic position will say, look, just take the Eucharistic, take the host, and put it under a microscope and see what you find out. I mean, has it changed into the flesh of a human being? Well, anything that can be observed empirically is not what we're talking about here. That's the level of the accidental or of the appearance level. The changes happen at the level of substance, transubstantiation. You know, here's another image maybe. Think of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Seeing the risen Jesus, taking him in, listening to him, indeed led by him, revealing they know all the data about him. Oh, he's a prophet, mighty in word and deed, and loved by the people. The elders turned against him. He was crucified. Some say he rose from the dead. They're seeing everything, but they're not getting it. They're seeing what's there to be seen, but they're not getting to the core reality of who he is. It's only, and of course, how wonderful that it's in the breaking of the bread that they see who he is. I can't let a talk go by without quoting Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan said, all he believes are his eyes, and his eyes, they just tell him lies. True sometimes. If all we believe are our eyes, it's all we take in of reality, the species, the appearance level, often we don't get the core reality. The Eucharist operates there. Here's one, too, of any Bob Dylan fans. It's a super obscure song by Bob Dylan, but contains this little line. I never could learn to drink that blood and call it wine. Think about that one for a second. Okay? John 6, church fathers, the church saying no to Berengarius, Thomas Aquinas giving a kind of magisterial expression with his language of transubstantiation. Now go forward 3 more centuries to the 16th century, the great century now of the Protestant Catholic debates, right? Martin Luther never liked the doctrine of transubstantiation, didn't like Thomas Aquinas' approach to it. Luther said the bread and wine are bread and wine after the consecration, but the presence of Christ has been somehow added to them. This is called more technically the impanation or companation theory. This means in the bread or with the bread, right? That somehow along with the bread has come the presence of Jesus. That's why more conservative Lutherans to this day will say, oh no, we believe in the real presence. They don't believe in transubstantiation. Do you know, in the song, it's not one of my favorite songs, but in Gather Us In, there's a perfectly Lutheran Eucharistic theology when the line says, the bread that is you. Remember that line? We're addressing the Lord and we say, the bread that is you. But see, that's a Lutheran sensibility. But see, Catholics, no, we balk at that. It's not bread, it's changed. It's not bread to which something has been added, a significance has been added.